If you are paying for ChatGPT Plus, Copilot, or Claude, and you still feel like you're doing the same manual work you were doing a year ago, it's not the tool, it's the level you're using it. There are 3 different ways to interact with AI right now. Most finance people are stuck at level 1, a few have moved to level 2, and level 3, where the real leverage is, almost nobody in finance is using it. I'll walk you through all 3 of them, what each one costs you, and how to pick the right one for the right task. Let's get into it. I'm Carolina. I have been working in FP&A and corporate finance for more than 25 years. And lately I've been building AI workflows for real FP&A work, variance analysis, forecasting, management report. And the pattern I have seen is that people are underusing the AI they already paid for because no one explained what's actually possible in the 3 levels of AI interaction we have now. So let's fix this. Level 1 is chat. It's what everybody knows. You open ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Copilot and you type a question. AI answer and you move on. And chat is powerful, more than most people realize. You can paste a messy trial balance and get it cleaned up. You can rewrite board commentary in a different tone. You can ask to explain variance to your CFO before he asks you. This is real value. But here's where level 1 starts to hurting you. Every new chat, you will start from 0. The AI doesn't know your company, your chart of accounts, your fiscal year, your product lines. So you spend the first 5 minutes of every conversation giving it context over and over. That's the level 1 problem. This is why people started talking about prompt engineering, frameworks, templates, long prompts with role, context, tasks, formats. Those work, but if you're building the same 3-paragraph prompt every day, every time, just to orient your AI, you're not using AI wrong, you're just using it at level 1, and level 1 has a ceiling. And level 2 solves that. Instead of giving context every time, you set up once in the background, and every conversation inherits it. Every major AI platform has its version of this. In Claude, it's called Project. In ChatGPT, a custom GPT. In Gemini, a gem. In Microsoft Copilot, a notebook. So it's just different names, but it's the same idea. You upload files, you write instructions, and AI treats that as background knowledge for every chat inside it. Let's make this concrete. Imagine a project called Monthly Close. You upload your chart of accounts, 6 months of actuals, and a 1-page instruction about your company and your tone. From that moment on, every chat inside that project already knows that. You skip the setup, you go straight to the work. This is a real upgrade. I use projects every day because I use Claude, but you can use ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. If you're not using level 2 yet, whichever platform you're using, that's what you're missing. This is the fastest upgrade you can make right now to your AI workflow. Most finance people stop here, but there's one more level, and this is where it's really changing the way we work. Because level 2 has its own ceiling. When you dump everything into one project, your chart of accounts, your budget, your variance templates, forecasting methodology, commentary style, and even whatever you need to dump there, AI reads all of it every time, even when you only need 10% of it. It gets slower, it gets more expensive, and honestly, a little confused. Now, level 3 solves the context problem level 2 creates, and it's the thing everybody in AI is talking about right now. It's called skills. Once you understand how a skill works, you never think of AI the same way again. A skill is a small, specialized instruction pack. 1 skill for variance analysis, 1 skill for management reporting, 1 skill for cash flow modeling, 1 for cleaning up messy GL export. Package, focused, self-contained. Instead of cramming everything into one project that AI reads cover to cover every time, you build a library of skills, and the AI only opens the one that matches your question. That concept has a name: progressive disclosure. The AI sees the details it needs, when it needs, and nothing else. Ask about a variance and the variance skill opens. Ask about board deck and the reporting opens. Everything else stays out of the way, quiet, not costing you money, not confusing AI. 3 things change. First, the AI gets less confused. It's not holding your entire finance playbook at once. Second, you spend less money because you're not paying to reread irrelevant context every time. And third, you can build a library of 20 or 50 skills without any of them slowing the others down. Your whole finance function is now modular. Here's the part that surprises people. Skills don't replace your project. They live inside it. You keep the Claude project you already set up, your chart of accounts, your company context, your instructions, and you add the skill on top, one per task type. Your project holds the context. Your skill holds the methodology. Progressive disclosure decides which skills gets pulled in for which question, and also which context gets brought in for each question. So let me show you. All right here in co-work, all you have to do is to check the skills that you already have. You click in customize, and then you go to skills. And here you're gonna have all of the skills that you have, and also the built-in skills, which are already part of the desktop app. But those are your personal skills. So if you want to add more, you can click here in plus, browse skills, and you have all of the Anthropic and partner skills. But if it's not one that Anthropic has and you want to create one, you can come here and create a skill. So you can create with Claude, you can write skill instructions, or you can upload a skill that you got from someone else. So let's check this one, management report. I updated it today, so it's very fresh. I have here the description of the skill, and that's the first part of the progressive disclosure. That's the first thing that AI will read. It will read this description and it'll see if this applies to what you're asking. So it doesn't have to read the whole skill if it's not necessary. It's going to read this, and if that has nothing to do with what you ask, it's just going to pass to the next one. This is what we call YAML. So now we have the management report back. That's the name of the skill. And then a quick description and all of the dependencies, because this is a skill that calls other skills, that other skills calls this one. So it needs, if it's given something that it's not able to analyze, it's going to grab the variance analysis skill or the GL2 statement. So the skill already shows here what is the part that it has in the whole workflow, which is, it starts with the GL2 statement, which is the skill that transforms the general ledger into the 3 statements. Then we have the variance analysis skill, which is the one that will analyze the variances, and then the management report. So then it's the final presentation layer. And what does it take to work on this skill? It has the data, what is required and what is not required, what is optional, and what is the purpose. So what it does here is it looks at everything that is required and it's going to search in your files. If you don't have it, if you didn't give to AI, it's not even going to read everything. It's going to already tell you that you need that file. So you don't spend tokens out of nowhere. It actually is very mindful of your tokens. So then it comes to the scope, and it's going to ask what period. If you didn't say that already in the prompt, it's going to ask you back who is the audience. Now, if it asks you what is the audience, it will determine what depth, tone, and focus, and that's because it has here a separate document in the reference files to guide the audience. So depending on who is the audience, let's say you say this is for the CFO, it's going to give a full detailed drivers, it's going to give line item, it's going to be analytical. Now, if this is for the board, it's going to be more strategic. If it's for the CEO, more about headlines and cash issues. If it's for the management, it's going to talk about operations. So depending on who is the audience, it's going to read only that. So it's going to be very focused on what it needs to read to produce the good results. I'm not going to go through all of this. I just wanted to show you here where the skills live and how to understand the progressive disclosure. That's exactly what it is. It's going to open just the part of the skill that you need. And if you don't need everything, it's not going to read, it's not going to use everything. Now, this is something important. This is not about what kind of AI user you are. It's about what kind of task you are doing. The 3 levels are not tiers to pick one and stay on. They are tools. In a given week, if you're serious about AI, you'll probably use all 3 of them. Level 1, plain chat. It's perfect when the context doesn't matter. Rewriting an email, summarizing a PDF, a one-off question, getting a second opinion on wording. You don't need a project for that. Opening a fresh chat is faster and it's enough. Level 1 is not beneath you. It's the right tool for the right task. Level 2, projects, is where you go when context matters, but the task varies. It's exploratory analysis on your company's data, 10 different questions about the same quarter, ongoing conversations where AI needs to know your company, but it doesn't have to have so much details for a process. Projects are perfect for that. I use them almost every day. And then level 3, which are the skills, is for the work that actually makes up your job. Recurring workflows, variance every month, the same management pack every quarter, your forecasting process, your GL cleanup, your structured, repeated, serious work. That's where most of your hours actually go. Now, here's the takeaway. If you're serious about AI, and most finance professionals need to be, you have to understand how skills work. Not because you use them for everything, but because skills are where every AI platform is heading. The finance people who understand this now will be a year ahead of the ones who don't. And everything I showed you today is exactly what I teach inside my work with finance teams. Skills, projects, AI workflows that exactly do the work for you. And if you want to learn more, join the FP&A AI Accelerator. It's a hands-on program where we build real skills and workflows together for your actual work. The link is in the description below. If this video was useful, hit like and subscribe. Make sure you click twice so you don't miss anything I'm posting. And let me know in the comments what was the most surprising thing you learned today, because that helps me understand where you are at your journey to understand AI and what to post next. I'll see you in the next one.